that's it. That's the end of This Is Not a Guidebook number 3. Done and dusted. 4 down, 2 to go. There's still some copies left of number 3, number 2, number 1 and 0. So if you want a copy of each one, let me know and we'll work out something. In the meantime, here's a slideshow of the pages from this year's This Is Not a Guidebook. And so now we turn our attention to the next project. What will it be? Stay tuned to find out. So it's been a week since I was in Yao, and since then I got a couple of messages. One was from a dodgy dating app, and the other one said, "Hey, great trip down memory lane, but where's the art?" It's a very good question, and I'm going to cover some of that today. When I was outside the house, I was going to talk more about different aspects of being out there. As I said, I was a little bit sad about how run down and overgrown things were. I showed the housing estate behind the house. In that housing estate, there are lots of little playground areas for kids, climbing frames especially. Almost all of them were just rusting, paint flaking off, overgrown, which shows there's no kids around there now. When we lived there, there's actually one of these little playgrounds behind the house, and in the daytime the kids would play there, small kids, and then at the weekends sometimes the older kids would be there sniffing glue or paint thinners. But they're very polite about it. I remember the chief told them off once for being noisy and they apologized. Quite a few things changed. Some things were still there, some things were new, and some things completely gone. Here's a couple of photographs from some 30-year-old negatives I found. An okonomiyaki restaurant just around the corner, Misato-san. There's me with hair, watching Misato-san cook okonomiyaki. This restaurant was just around the corner from our house, and we used to go there often. We used to take guests there often as well. Not only is the restaurant gone, but the house is gone. It's completely replaced with a different house. So the Shotengai as well, the street, the shops all shuttered up. You go up to the main road where I got the bus from. Shops there looking all run down and just neglected. Really nice bakery on the corner of the main street is now an Indian restaurant. So you might remember also this coin laundry. Last time I showed this video. So down the far end is from where I took this photograph. That's 30 years ago. Chief sitting in a coin laundry. We weren't using it. We're actually taking photographs for someone I used to know in Switzerland who wanted some photographs of coin laundries in Japan. So that brings me to art. I was going to talk about art. I lived in that house for about 4.5 years, and I was creative, mostly doing illustrations, small things like that. But I did 2 large paintings, and the first one I did is actually in Ireland now. There's a collector there who likes my work, has quite a few of my paintings. He has the first painting I ever did in Japan. So this is the second painting I did, this one here. And this is based on something that happened in 1995. There was a big scandal in the sumo world. And there was one particular stable which was winning a lot. And the rumor was that the head of the stable was paying out bribes to other stables so their wrestlers would lose bouts on purpose. So that's why I got the sumo wrestler here with all the N marks, all the N signs. I got a piece of rubber, cut it out, and I stamped all of these around. And then this says uso, which means lie, but in this case, NHK, which is a national TV broadcaster, was doing interviews out in the street, and there was one old guy, and they explained what was going on, and he said uso, which in this context means no way. He didn't believe it. So I combined those two things for this one painting. So this is kind of a bit satirical, and the first one was also satirical. So I was already doing that kind of work. So both paintings contain techniques that I would use later on, maybe almost 10 years later, in some of the star paintings. But that's kind of those are kind of the few things that I wanted to say that day and bring into the previous video. Go back and check it out, you'll see some footage and stuff. Just wanted to kind of wrap up that kind of part. After I got back from Yao, I was with the chief, and she asked me, how was it? I said to her, remember all the good memories you have of that house and your life in that area, because you don't need to go back. And she said, okay. Till next time. As you can see, this part of the gallery is quite empty, except for this wonderful painting. And the reason is, the chief has been waiting for Giant to be over because she wants to rearrange the gallery space. She has this idea to make it look better. I put Roland's painting from that wall to this wall, and as you can see, there's nothing else here except this painting. And I said to the chief, you know what? Let's just leave this painting. That's it. I'll have a stool in the corner of the room with the mobile phone. That's all we need. Throw everything else away. She gave me one of her disapproving looks, which you don't want to be on the end of that. What we're going to do now is that's going to stay there, but we're going to rearrange the furniture, rearrange the gallery. But because the chief doesn't like to be on camera, we can't even do hyperlapse, which means you guys get to watch this. Okay, we got it done, and now follow me around. Studio space over here, past my workspace. You can see this is now the new gallery space over here. This will be just my paintings for the first, well, until whenever. This is it. Got the chairs over here, also a little sofa. It's actually worked out quite well. Time to go home. And today, yes, we're going to be talking about this painting. You will have seen this painting in previous videos and the various incarnations. And you will also know that I've been struggling with it. I don't know what to do. But today we have a plan. And the plan is because somebody got angry. After the previous video when I showed us painting this, somebody who shall remain nameless that is called Jack Slander, contacted me and said he was very angry with me for painting over the previous art on this canvas. In fact, his exact words were, "I was infuriated." Because of that, and because I was struggling, I had to think of something. A few weeks ago, I was watching TV and there was a little documentary piece about the paint company Turner, which is also based in Osaka, like Holbein. They did a thing about Ankoku, which is this. It's Ankoku black, and it absorbs light when you apply it to a surface. As usual, I was in a rush and it was getting to the deadline, and I was painting all the individual stars, and I thought, no, it's not working. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to spray it all matte black, which is what I did. And I got some matte black spray paint and I sprayed it. I used the whole can. Didn't come out how I expected at all, but I had no time. And at that time also, I didn't even think about black paint which absorbs light. I don't know why, I just didn't think about it. And then seeing this on TV about Turner and their Ankoku paint, I was like, oh, of course. And then struggling with this, and then Jack Slander being angry about what I did, it all came together. So today we're going to see how it works, which means hyperlapse. Well, there you go. I painted 1/4. I think I'm going to use a well-known Japanese gesture to express my feelings for progress so far, and it's Jack Slander's going to kill me. When he was kind of being angry, I said I can always paint it black again, and he said, well, it'll never be the same. And he was right, it'll never be the same. But it's different, and difference is always good, right? Here we are at the end of September already, and what a month it has been. Just so much in the news. Do you remember this from almost 2 years ago?
What about NFTs, this new rage where we have the ability to sell exclusive, what do you call them, digital prints of
digital files
of artwork. Would you consider getting into that?
No, I've already considered it actually. I've been following NFTs for quite a while, since last year or the year before, when it kind of started taking off. Personally, NFT as a concept, as an idea of owning digital work, I think it's great. I think it's a fantastic idea. I think people have been thinking about this for a long time, but didn't know how to make it work. Because, you know, someone buys an image, boom, could be over the internet within seconds or something, you know, if they accidentally send it to the wrong person. The actual idea of owning a digital image and it's yours, I think it's a fantastic idea, right? Brilliant idea. But it's the system at the moment is you're getting people paying ridiculous amounts of money for really stupid images. With NFTs, some people are going to get stupidly rich, and most people are going to get nothing.
Yeah, NFTs, eh? It was in the news this week. 95% of all NFTs are worthless. Check this out. I'll put a link in the description below so you can go read it for yourselves. I think dodged the bullet there. And what else? Not really art related, or it could be actually. Art should be involved, and probably is involved. is the hypocrisy of the world's media. Of course, we've seen in the UK with Russell Brand and what's happening to him, and the media basically castigating, even though there are no criminal charges yet. There could be soon, I don't know, but anyway, innocent until proven guilty, right? That's what it should be. But contrast that also with what's happening in Japan. The biggest agency in terms of TV talent, which is Johnny's an associate, the founder of that company, Johnny Kitagawa, was a pedophile for many, many years. And he sexually abused many, many boys and young men. And you've got the whole Japanese media, all the TV companies, all the newspapers, all the magazines, well, you name it, they all used groups like boy bands and personalities from this agency. And they all knew what was going on, and now they're all kind of, oh, we didn't know. And that's such bullshit. When it comes to these kind of things, somebody always knows, and they don't do anything. And this is what ticks me off, because I have personal experience of being a victim of pedophile, and it really, really makes me mad. When he was, and he's actually passed away now, so he can't be taken to court or anything like that. No one can question him. We only have the victims. The company themselves are kind of like trying to put distance between them and the founder. I can't remember how long ago, it was a few years ago, one of the kind of magazines that digs up dirt on celebrities, etc. They actually had a story about this, and it got buried. It got buried by everybody because this guy was so powerful in the media entertainment industry in Japan that everybody turned a blind eye, and that is the worst thing can happen. That's what they're saying happened in the UK as well. Russell Brand, his behavior, everybody knew about it, but everyone turned a blind eye because same thing was happening in Japan was happening then. People were making money, and money talks. Or actually in this case, money keeps quiet, doesn't it? But this is a perfect opportunity for artists to do something, bring attention to these issues. This is what we should be doing. You know, drawing pictures of cats. No, we should be drawing attention, using our skills to visually bring attention to these issues. I tried doing this with the misappropriation of culture. Some of the issues are facing Japan now. You'd be surprised how many people, Japanese people, came to the exhibition and had no idea about some of the issues I was raising. But that's our job as artists. Our job is to raise awareness. Help people to be aware of things like this. The abuse of children, the abuse of women, the abuse of anybody. And on that rather serious note, thanks for watching.